We have already established that climate change is being brought about because we released carbon dioxide, among other greenhouse gases, into the atmosphere. And that is what is interfering with the temperatures of the atmosphere, which is causing all the problems we have. When I look at it, I believe there are only two technologies that we need to develop. And if we do them well, then we may be able to hit the goals that we have on climate change. The first one is we need to develop ways and technologies and tools, and we need to figure out how we are going to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases that are already in the atmosphere. What we have up there, scientists have said, even if we stopped producing today, what is up there is already excess in a manner that it is still going to give us problems. If we can develop technologies to remove what we have already in the atmosphere, then we will be dealing with the problem. And that is where we have things that are already happening on ground, technologies that are being developed, research that is coming out to show how we can take away greenhouse that is already in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide yenye iko huko juu tunaweza itoa aje? We remove it from the atmosphere. There are complex technologies that have been developed to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Some are very complex, but there are simple techniques that me and you, we can be able to do to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. You know one of them? Planting trees. Why? Because trees use carbon dioxide. If we plant, like for example in Kenya, we have a goal to plant 15 billion trees, right? So if we are able to plant those trees, then every tree will be taking some amount of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere in a acre, because it uses that carbon dioxide kutengeneza food na nini na nini. So if we are planting trees, we are already acting on making the world better by fighting climate change. So that is the essence of tree planting. And there is other things that have come up from those technologies, like the carbon market, which we'll talk about in a video in the near future. So that is the first thing. We need to remove the carbon dioxide that is already in the atmosphere. The simplest way that we can all be able to participate is planting trees. And it is not just planting trees. Make sure ukishapanda mti, una make sure imemea. So make sure to water, to wind, to make sure haijakuliwa na mbuzi. Like huko kwetu man, ukipanda miti, then the goats will come after you and they will clear the leaves of the tree and the tree dies. So necessarily you have not done anything. You must take care of a tree for about 3 years. After 3 years, sasa hiyo mti inaweza jitegemea on itself, according to research. Do not plant 100 trees if you cannot take care of them. Plant 10 and make sure they grow. Another suggestion, a personal preference for me, is depending on where you are, of course, do your math, plant indigenous tree. That is definitely the most recommended, but I recommend that you also plant fruit trees. Like if you're doing avocado, you could sell the avocados, you could eat them with your family and so on, other than kupanda tu mti yenye haitakusaidia. Depending on na hesabu yako, shamba yako inatoshana aje, do you have a family that you need to feed, is the tree going to give you some financial incentives and so on. Sawa. Now let's go to the second technology or idea that is going to help us fight climate change, and that is preventing carbon dioxide from getting to the atmosphere. If we develop technologies that are going to ensure that we do not release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, then we shall be fighting this problem. So then the question is, Give me an example. One example that we are taking up very, very, very seriously as the world is shifting our energy from relying on fossil fuels, petrol, diesel, nini. Pole pole tuna shift to clean energy. In this video, we talked about where Kenya is on the goal to achieve 100% renewable energy by 2030. So inamaanisha hatutakuwa tunatumia petroli, hatuko tunatumia diesel ama tutapunguza, because hiyo diesel na petrol ikichomeka kwa gari, hizo exhaust zinatoka ziko na a lot of these greenhouse gases. So we are shifting to electric vehicles. If our energy is 85% clean and you're using electric vehicle, umepunguza the amount of carbon dioxide yenye imekuwa released as you drove your electric car from Mombasa to Nairobi, as compared to ungetumia gari ya petrol. You get what I'm saying? We installed biogas. Uko na ng'ombe 2, unaeka biogas. So instead ya kutumia makaa na kuni, unatumia biogas. Then we are providing things like energy saving jikos. So instead ya kutumia kuni, unatumia energy saving jiko. You're reducing the amount of kuni ungetumia, assuming you're using the 3-stoned jiko. So that we reduce on the number of trees we cut down for firewood, and we also reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that we are releasing into the atmosphere. If we would be able to develop technologies, methods, ways, and implement them successfully, that one will take away carbon dioxide that you already have in the atmosphere and take it away, you're on the right track. If 2, we'll be able to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that we are releasing into the atmosphere, then you're on the right track. When you shift from using firewood if you shift from using the 3-stoned jiko to using those energy saving jiko, imagine you're saving the planet. And those are the solutions. Whatever method they're doing, it doesn't matter. We're planting trees, we are removing. We either remove and prevent, avoid emission and remove what is there. Those are the only 2 solutions that will save this planet from dying of climate change. Tell me what you think down in the comment section.